So, hi guys, we're back again. We're doing the Union activation. So, we've done everything up to change order phase, which isn't going to happen. I'm not going to do the brigade coordination phase, so we're now into the action phase. And there's a quick glance at the different things you can do. It's basically based on if you're in advance or attack mode. So if you're in advance mode, you can either fire or move, and you can only move up to 1 hex away from an enemy. Or if you're doing attack, you can move up to an enemy and still fire or go into shock attack, which is how I understand it. So I've put little markers on to show what I've done and what happened. So I moved these guys over to here. It's 1.5 movement points, and they've got 6 to move through wooded areas. So I've shifted to there. The unit there has moved down and extended. These two pushed forward slightly, and then these guys both fired, and it caused this unit to rout back and lose a cohesion point. And these cannons fired at -3 is what I fired them at. Because from my understanding, they're TB, they're 6 hexes away, so there's no range mod. There's a 0 range modifier, and then because they're firing 6 hex away, that's a -2, and I also gave them the -1 for firing into a wooded hex, so that became -3. And then I rolled on the 4-5 and then took 3 away from the result. This guy we managed to disrupt, and then this fired again and it missed. I think it rolled a 0, and then with -3 it dropped it down to nothing. So yeah, I think I've done everything correctly. I mean, with these guys, they're on 9 strength points, because they start on 9. From my understanding, that would mean it would be a 3-3-3, because it's a refused, so you've got 2 3s at the front and then a sort of 3 pointing over here, so that made it 6 firing into him. And because they're firing into a wood, it was a -1, because I think he was positioned here, and then it was a -1 for firing up the hill, so it was a -2 on the 6th column, and I think I managed to get a one of these ones where you add to it, and then he failed his cohesion roll and fell back. And then I think these guys fired and failed to do anything. I think these guys passed the cohesion test. So yeah, so I think I did that all correctly. I don't know if any of the guys who play this game regularly think the way I've described this I've made an error somewhere, but I think I've done it all correctly. So it will oh, and they did return fire, which did nothing. Oh, that reminds me, over here I'm not entirely sure, because I fired with these cannons, does that mean because that cannon is right next to the unit that was fired upon, he can do a reaction fire back at that artillery piece? I haven't, but I'd be interested to know if it could have done a reaction shot back, and I'll read through the rules again for reaction fire to see if I've missed something. But yeah, I believe that pretty much covers everything I've done this turn.